There is no lack of choices when it comes to bicep exercises. So which exercises do you prioritize? You should follow this video through to the end if you're having trouble building your arms right now, because I'll teach you the 2 workouts you need to concentrate on to start getting different results. Now, some people might want you to think that there are just 2 exercises you need to do, and all the other bicep exercises are completely useless. Not at all, I'm saying. But, if these 2 boxes aren't checked off simultaneously, you'll find it difficult to develop the best set of biceps. With this minimal strategy, you can be confident that you'll have an efficient combination of workouts to use and, more importantly, that you'll be able to concentrate on fewer things so you can get where you want to be faster. You might be astonished to learn that I just have 2 because you are aware of all the biceps exercises I offer. Yet when I only talk about 2, the biceps offer us a special possibility that we might not have with some other muscle groups. It's challenging to accomplish that in only 2 workouts if we're talking about the chest, where we need to target the various heads of the upper mid and lower chest, the functions of adduction, or just basic pressing. Yet, with the biceps, the function of elbow flexion, forearm supination, and finally shoulder flexion may actually be included into practically any workout we perform. So, for our 2, what would we prioritize? Therefore, a curl in some form has to be the absolute minimum in this situation. But there's a reason why I prefer to begin with a strict curl, take a step back, and then do a drop set into a cheat curl. Hence, you take your weight with the strict curl here. Moreover, you might hold onto this with a more supinated grip if you have trouble feeling supination. I do, however, have the more impartial grip at this time. All 3 of your body parts are in contact with the wall, your head, your upper back, and your butt. I raise the weight and lower it again after that. I don't have the chance to get the swing that I would if I were stepping away from the wall, thus this is really stressing the biceps. You then complete the set to failure. Let's assume that's it, and I leave. We now have the drop set. Thus, a drop set allows you the freedom to accept and overcome failure. I'll raise my right leg in front for myself. I'll explain why in a moment. But when I stand up, I start to swing and concentrate on the eccentric. Think about the quirky as you rise and sway a little. Since I have a torn bicep on my right side, I have this leg in front of me. I therefore make an effort to reduce part of the extension I obtain via range of motion. That wouldn't be necessary. However, up first, followed by a gradual, eccentric descent that leads to failure. Likewise, you might only want to do the bare minimum when it comes to workout selection. At the very least, you should begin with a curl, preferably a heavy one. And my preferred method is to use the strict curl, cheat curl drop set. The second thing you should do is establish a relationship with the bar, in this case a pull-up bar. I spent a ton of time up here when I was younger, whether it was during field day, when I was trying to complete the flexed arm hang challenge for the longest period possible, or when I was working out on my own after realizing it. You could be missing anything right now, but please allow me to do something really important. And that is to hit all 3 of the biceps functions, elbow flexion, supination or being in a supinated position, and shoulder flexion with our arm raised, in a single motion. Guys, I've been able to use this to grow some really good biceps. Thus, I'm pleading with you to take my words of wisdom to heart. Hence, this is what I did. I rise from the underhand position on the bar. I'm going to assume this position with just a tiny bit of my head sticking up. I don't have to worry about my shoulders because my elbows are in front. However, I just take this viewpoint right here. My core is tight and I'm keeping the isometric position on my biceps since my legs are locked out. I have 2 options for how to proceed at this point. I could simply sit here and perform an extended isometric into a failed negative on the way down. Right. Which I could perform either after my set of curls or at the conclusion of my bicep workout. Perhaps I could make it into a more vigorous exercise in which I strive to repeat it. You'll notice, though, that the arm's angle doesn't really alter. I make an effort to keep things open, right? Hence, if I'm coming up, I'm down and approximately here. I'll just look in the back of my skull for the target, I guess. I could approach the bar from behind if I wanted to, but notice how I've maintained the angle. I'm not stopping because I'll shift part of the strain away from the biceps and onto the lats. Keep that angle at roughly 90 degrees to let the biceps do all the work and to help them grow. Again, the bare minimum is being discussed. I mean at least these 2 when I say there are only 2. The other workouts come into play, though, if your bicep growth is at a point where you're comfortable with it right now but feel like you could take it to another level, like I indicated in the introduction. If you haven't already, click subscribe and enable notifications so you won't miss any of the videos we release in the future. Okay, folks, I'll see you soon.